What do you see as more dangerous for Russia? Putin staying in power for 10 or more years, or Putin falling from power and there's no credible leader to take his place?
Я считаю, что
I feel that a situation when Putin leaves power, and he will at some point leave power, is going to be not without danger for Russia.
но при этом мы с вами видим, что за последние
And we are seeing in the past year that Putin is making a large number of mistakes, which makes a crisis in Russia unavoidable.
в этой ситуации то, что мы должны и можем сделать,
What we can and must do in a situation like this is to put together a team that would help make such a transition as smooth as possible.
сделать переход более плавным.
Do you think the Kremlin is scared of you?
Я считаю,
I think that in releasing me from jail, Putin deemed me not a danger to him. There are other people who think otherwise. And in today's Kremlin policy vis-a-vis myself, we see both of these lines.
видим обе эти линии одновременно.
Do you think Putin has reassessed, though, given all the events that have transpired since you've been released?
Возможно, в какой-то момент он пожалеет.
It may be that at some point he may regret that I'm now outside his immediate control.
Но я
But on the
надеюсь,
other hand, I also hope that one day he will realize that an independent opposition is a good thing for the country.
кажется, что независимая позиция — это вещь.
Not that I believe very much that this will
Я,
happen,
конечно, в это не очень верю, но
but people are capable of changing even when they're over 60. Let us leave that opportunity for Putin to do this.
What should the West be more concerned about? A crisis outside of Russia, Russian aggression, or a crisis inside Russia?
а это взаимосвязано.
But you can see that these two are totally interconnected. Putin's aggression outside of Russia creates a situation in Russia where the national chauvinists are on the rise, and that is bringing things closer to a crisis. Seeing his popularity falling in Russia and seeing the rise of the national chauvinists, Putin attempts to take over their agenda for himself by means of external aggression.
Внешней агрессии. Поэтому ситуация
So the situation is certainly interconnected, and to my great regret, I think we have stepped onto a path of no return. As a result of this, of taking this path, the regime in Russia will be destroyed. What sorts of losses this will bring to Russia and to the whole world is something we all have yet to
еще только
see.
предстоит узнать.
You are a dissident, but you're also an ex-oligarch, which is a rather hated class in Russia. So how can you convince them? Do you think you can be a legitimate engager, if you will?
Я
I'm not a dissident, and I'm certainly not an oligarch anymore.
Диссиденты — это те люди, которые
Dissidents are people who serve an idea and who find the notion of compromise impossible.
какие-то компромиссы. Я считаю, что
I believe that compromise is also an idea.
олигархи —
A
это
person who has spent 10 years in jail is not an oligarch. So I think I do have some opportunities. They have their limits, of
не
course.
безграничны.
You've been asked about your past role as an oligarch, and you have said that mistakes have been made and that your values have changed. But do you think that you need to publicly atone more for your past actions to gain that legitimacy with reform-minded people in Russia?
Я говорил не
I have told my fellow citizens numerous times that one may have made mistakes, but I feel it more important to move on rather than dwell on the past. Repentance is a personal thing. It's not a public thing. If somebody wants a public act of repentance, let them await it from Putin. Those who want to move ahead and do something and make change, I want to work with them.
вместе.
You have lost a lot, and so much more than money. You've lost your freedom. You've lost time with your family. They've lost time with you. 10 years in jail. How much more are you willing to lose? And are you willing for your family to lose to pursue constitutional reform in Russia?
Тяжелый вопрос.
That's a tough question.
Ответ
And I need to answer this question
мне приходится
for myself and to my wife on a regular
себе и
basis.
своей жене. Наверное,
Maybe another life would be possible for another person, but my family would prefer to keep on living with the kind of person that I am.
таким человеком, которым я являюсь.